every year, and this one's going to be in May. And we're thinking about having a day to bring in the public. So if you're not a practitioner, you're just visiting or watching what's going on, then if you want to be part of that, we may open that to the public. And so Judy is the head of the conference committee this year. So we'll brainstorm and see if we want to bring a zillion people in here just to visit and to kind of see what the place is. Maybe an open house kind of thing. We could do that. So we try to make this an all-around kind of thing. So tonight we're going to be doing something called happy hour. And happy hour, we just get together and do happy things. And tonight is by request. Somebody asked us to do weight, and then somebody else called and said, can you do my blood pressure? And somebody else called and said, I have a pain in the neck. Can you do that? So this is going to be kind of viewer's choice tonight as we do this every night. Well, that's a lie. We don't do it every night. We do it on Tuesdays in the evening, 6 to 7, every other night. On the alternating Tuesdays, we do vocal profiling live. And last week we did The Biggest Liar. That was a fun one. We took a psychotic person, a normal person, 2 lying reporters that we knew they were lying, our president about gun control, I guess it was 5 of them. And somebody found guilty of rape. And we looked at what they said in the beginning and then what was ultimately found to be the truth. And we taught people how to look at vocal prints for lying. And we posted some information online for you about that class. But today's class is about weight and about how too much weight can be your friend, because a lot of the times inside that little cell of adipose fat tissue, there actually is a composite of a toxin. We also found out today and decoded it. There is a pathogen that they think is responsible for obesity. And we decoded that, and it's an A-sharp. So if you have A-sharp in stress or have the architecture of an A-sharp, we're going to look at that. So do we have any volunteers? Remember that you go down to the bottom and it says raise hand, just click that. And anybody wants to volunteer to give us their vocal print, we'll show you how all of this happens. And this is what we teach in our public courses, how to use this software. Oh, there's a volunteer. Phyllis is going to volunteer. Okay, Phyllis, would you open your mic and we'll talk about what you want us to look at? You get your choice tonight, viewer's choice. So we're trying to get Phyllis to raise her hand first, and she's having trouble with her microphone. So she's going to call us on our Polycom phone, and we'll do it that way. This Polycom phone is designed to pick up a lot of the frequencies that a normal kind of phone isn't. Sorry, I'm not near a phone. Not sure why my mic is not working. Okay, well, even though Phyllis volunteered, she's not near a phone. So for those of you having problems, I'm going to put in the tech phone, 866-863-3903, and that's tech support. But you should be able to hear. We should tell you that you can go to that little green tab at the top or bottom of your screen, and down will come a little menu bar, and you can hit chat, and you can talk to all of us. So Philip M. Phyllis Edwards can't be with us till she gets her mic fixed. So Philip, you had your mic open, so can you open your mic again and talk to us?
I have.
Okay, tell us what issue you would like to look at this evening.
Well, I'm fairly healthy. What would you recommend?
Do you want to know something that's a physical issue or an emotional issue?
Let's try emotional.
Okay, that's an easy one. We are going to look at a program called Envoice. And you can download a version of Envoice from our site by going to download, and there's a version of it, Nano Voice. And if you want the booklet to go along with it, we've just finished it. I don't think it's posted yet, but you can ask for the booklet. There is a 2-hour class already here that you can look at. I think I'm having trouble getting a little bar over here that'll let me run up and down. Yeah. So there's a 2-hour class, there's some instructions, some charts, so you can do this on your own, and we will look at emotional issues. So instructions are there, but very simple. It goes 5 clicks of a button, and then we're going to click, and it'll give us an automatic evaluation. So you came in as Philip, Phillip, so we'll put you in as that. Now I'm going to hit the microphone, and it will tell us that we are using the little Samson mic, so that's okay. Now I'm going to hit OK, and you could watch this begin to climb. This is a time domain, very fun program, and we do all these classes to teach you how to use it, but also just have fun too. And pretty soon we're going to start an instructor program. So a lot of the people who have taken our courses are going to be running these happy hours throughout the country. So when I hit OK, you're going to start talking, and don't stop until this 0 gets to 500. Are you ready?
Don't you have something you want me to read or say?
No reading, no reciting, no counting. Just tell me about your day. You ready?
Ready.
If we were going to test you for allergies, we'd have you read something. But hold on 1 second. Okay, start talking.
Okay, I had a great day. I had lunch with my best friend from high school who lives a charmed life. He married a pediatrician. And during lunch, his Episcopalian minister joined us. So we hung out, talked about different things. I mentioned that his wife is a pediatrician, and I inquired of him as to what Affordable Care was going to do for him. And he indicated that it was going to just allow him to make more money. So I was very interested to hear how that was going to take place.
Well, that's an awesome thing to hear.
Okay.
So that Affordable Care is going to let the doctor make more money. I love it that somebody's going to make some money out of it that is a normal kind of person, and it's not just all going down the gopher hole. You can tell I'm prejudiced. So we have 519 hits. So what happened here is a computer quit after your first breath after 500 hits. Now, we need to save this in case we lose it, we can come back to it. So I'm going to just hit the little disc there, and it'll say, let's save that. Now we have it in here, and sometimes what's not here is just as important as what is here. You are a very spontaneous person. You are intellectually cautious. You like to get out and do and see what's going to happen. Now that's just my interpretation. You like to manage in a very spontaneous way also. So let's just click a button and see what the computer says about you. Well, it came up here on my other monitor. I'll move it over. I'm trying to make that a little bit bigger. Let's go down to the bottom, because the bottom is usually what's happening right now. Wow, there's a lot of print out here. You are willing to take the lead when things need to get done. Your ability to have an idea and get it done is admirable. This is a bunch of if-then statements based on the balance and the notes and the amount of notes that came out of your voice. You have a balance between your need to have credit, it's too far away, for accomplishments and your ability to get things done. You tend to let your accomplishments speak for you. Is that you?
Well, I'm a retired utility engineer, and I masquerade as an IT person, so yes, my accomplishments speak for themselves.
If I looked at your chart here, I would think that you can speak extemporaneously very well. No, that's an F, sorry. This is the E, the speaking part, so forget I just said that. But as we look at the yellow and the red together, combined, because we look at the whole balance of the chart, you can look at somebody else's plan and tell what's wrong with it. Almost instantly, you see the future and can see what's wrong. That's a strong point for you. You want to make things better, but that's just my interpretation, but only because I wrote the program. You have the power and ability to get things done. Boy, a lot of accomplishment stuff in here. You sometimes take on more than you can do in the time allotted. You have pride and patience to see the best job. Well, a lot of this is repeated. We should have put you on the short one. This is the long one. I thought I was getting the short one, but this is the long one.
And we were talking about where I was emotional.
Yes, so let's go back and look at this. Well, let me see emotional. You need to be spontaneous. You don't want to be tied down. You want to help others, but you want to do it your way. You want to manage. You want everything to have a useful outcome. You have a love of humanity. Let's look at your numbers. A lot of really solid foundation, except you don't always know here how to help others. That's in a different octave. So that's kind of removed all by itself. You want to help, but don't always know the right plan. C, sharp, and D are missing. That's what's there to help others. You will not help unless they're going to help themselves. So,
well, I don't need to be an enabler.
Very true. You would be very just right up in somebody's face if they ask for your help, but you'd probably stand back until they ask. Then you just tell them like it is, and they might not want to hear it. Not having all the information needed to make a decision stresses you. Your reputation is important. You go to great lengths to protect it. You have a high degree of intuition when it comes to listening to what people are not saying. You have strong opinions about, what is that word, protecting others, Tommy? He's over here by the board that I can't see. Others who don't have the ability to protect themselves. So you'll protect people, but they've got to do their part too. You will come back again and again to a situation that is unsettling until you find an answer that satisfies you. It's distressing to you when someone is attempting to prove you wrong. You know when you have settled the mind about a situation because you no longer need to talk about it. Being without a reason or cause for an unsettling event can be disturbing and very mentally time-consuming. Any of this answer the question, or you just want general information about yourself?
I'm going with the flow.
Okay, well, it says that you're spontaneous here. I am just going to go read this myself. Oh, didn't want to hit that. Cancel. I'm going to hit this one. I would say, personally, you like doing it your way. Either you have settled what's there, because there's no energy in C#. That's about fairness and justice. so either you keep all of that away from you, but I almost imagine you pushing any incidents like that away from you, because you just either don't want to deal with it or you've already dealt with it in life. But there's no energy there. That is also the bowel and tendon and ligaments, if you want to look at it from a physical perspective. From a physical perspective, the note of D is digestion, all of your enzymes and reproduction. But it's also a giver, someone who gives a lot of themselves and asks nothing in return. And note you have no energy there. And when that happens, you've either learned your lesson or it's just not something that interests you. So you go to the numbers and you look at anything that's in a higher octave, and it isn't. So that energy just isn't there. And I can't always tell whether that's a lesson you've learned. If you're an older person, then it's a lesson that you have learned and you don't need the energy anymore. But you can be very stubborn. You like things your way. You don't like anybody to tell you what to do. You want to manage your own stuff. You like helping others. I don't know what to say about this, because I don't know what you're looking for.
As I said, I'll go with the flow, but I think I've heard things which validate who I am and what's in my heart. Back to what you were saying about, well, C#. I tell my children that there's no right, there's no wrong, there's no good, there's no bad, there are only consequences. And if you can deal with the consequences of an action, you go for it. If you can't, you better relax.
How do you feel about things that you can't control?
Well, I've encountered so many things in my existence that I couldn't control that I know that I need to calm down. But I do out of the ordinary problem solving. So if something's important to me, I'll find a way to deal with it.
That's this high A, that's high management. A is resource management. It can be I's. It can be non-physical issues, spirituality, especially combined with a high B, like you have. But spontaneity and having room to move without restrictions is really important to you, and it must be a useful move. But you can jump and get something done almost without thinking about it, because it's just there for you. Why or how is a better word, how to make it work. And that's that F combined with your intellect and your spontaneity. So that's a good combination, except if you wanted to be an attorney, you probably would have a little bit of issues. You would be a courtroom theater person, not a serious intellectual by the book. You would do things by example, and you love the idea of looking at the future and how all of what's happening right now fits with the lessons of tomorrow. You want to send
outcomes.
Pardon?
I am into outcomes.
I was looking for efficiency here. It's not necessarily efficiency with things, since you said you're an engineer, but it has to be for the betterment of the people concerned, not just for a mechanical outcome.
Yes.
It has to have some spiritual outcome with it, or you're going to be still seeking if you don't have that component.
Well, I do call myself a truth seeker.
Well, would you like me to send you a copy of this?
That would be wonderful.
Okay, go over to where the participants are. Do you know how to get there?
Yes.
Okay, click on my name just at the top, the host.
Left or right click?
Right click and go down to chat. and it will allow you to send me a private message that no one can see. So if you send me your email, I will bundle this and send it to you. And this is how we bundle something. We take all the information that we have, and we like people to do this for everybody that they see. How can I move that? It won't move. So that's all the information, but I also want to go grab your chart and put it in with it. And then I also want to grab your numbers, because the instructions that will come with this will tell you how to read all this, that you have a very solid foundation. You tend to run over some people that are with you. Do they think you're kind of stubborn and bossy?
Well, I grew up with a prototypical psychotic stepfather, and I was the oldest and responsible for the behavior of 6 other children, so I learned how to, well, function in an area where I had ultimate responsibility and no ability to control the people I was responsible for. So I became a negotiator.
Aha, that's where that my idea of lawyer, spontaneous lawyer kind of comes in. Okay. And I have your email, got it? So right after we quit here in an hour or so, I'll send this over to you along with the instruction sheet.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for volunteering. Did you expect to find this out? Is this your first time here?
I've been visiting with you for about a month, and I think the last time you were going to do this, it got canceled. So.
Oh, the diet stuff.
But
yeah,
I'm happy to be with you, and I did join up as a guardian.
Awesome. I think we're doing detox this month, looking at one of our computer programs. It's a little different from this time domain. But thank you for volunteering.
I'm enjoying being with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that's a high compliment coming from your chart. Do we have another volunteer? Somebody wrote to me that they would volunteer. Who was it? Oh, that's Philip. So, anybody else? Is Doug's situation straightened out now? Okay. We can look at diet issues. I'm going to open one of the small nano voices and slide it over. I don't know if the person who asked us to do this is even here. Boy, that's too big. I don't think anybody can look at that. What we begin to look at with diet, I'm going to add a new piece to this for those of you who are practitioners. We look at 3 neurotransmitters: dopamine, which is a D, norepinephrine, which is a D sharp, and E, which is serotonin. And those are the 3 neurotransmitters that deal with your appetite and what's going on with it. Another issue is cortisol, and cortisol is a barely into an F sharp. And cortisol has to do with the immune system and how you're being managed to lay down layers of fat. Now, one of the other issues that goes along with it, there is a bacteria that causes people to gain weight, they say, and it's an A-sharp. But there is also this idea of cholesterol, and we have found a relationship between a fatty liver, blood sugar issues, and cholesterol. And it's all managed by almost the same frequency here in A-sharp. So that we're looking at something called HGMCOA, or HMG, I can't remember which it is. But it is the enzyme that statin drugs, HMG, I think. Yes, it's HMG. So huge, magnet, ginormous. That's how I'm remembering it. That enzyme is also an A-sharp that controls something called mevalonate, which controls your levels of fat that is laid down as low-density lipids or cholesterol in the system. Cholesterol makes these neurotransmitters. And when they tell you that your cholesterol needs to be around 200 or so, that's really low for a male. If you read some of the books, there is so much controversy about this. And I just read an article, we just sent it out to our students, and they don't want men to be under 200 because it makes low testosterone if they do. So there's also issues here with weight. So we can look at D, D-sharp, and E for weight issues. We can also look at weight issues and looking at our frequency domain. And Rose says that she will volunteer. The program that we have to look at this by way of frequency domain is called Bio Diet. We have given away this program. I'll put it over here so we can look at it too. So we'll be able to look at all the hormones, medications, biochemicals, enzymes. But we can open a file called Audacity, and this is free. I'm going to make it smaller, just audacity.sourceforge.net. Judy, would you put that address in for me so that everybody can have it? And as Rose is talking to us, we will try to do both at the same time. We do have every month, we have a bonus software that we give away. And this month it happens to be the flu season, to see if you have been exposed to that swine flu, pig flu, bird flu, flea flu, fly flu, whatever there is going around. We did a show on this, and it's here that you can watch. And then we put this up for people about countervailing the flu. We also have radiation software, and there's been a lot of articles come out recently about the West Coast being absolutely bombarded with radiation. So there's charts here, and there is software that you can download and use. Okay, we can't wait much longer. Rose, I guess we could, we just don't want to. For those of you setting your parameters on your Audacity, you need to go to Edit and Preferences. You need to be set at 32,000, 16-bit mono. And if you're forgetting everything that we're telling you, you can go to our site. And even on that bonus software, you can go to the bottom, and there is a Bioacoustic Basics textbook that has all of the information in it that can help you go through this step by step. Rose, are you going to call us? Tommy, would you like to volunteer until Rose gets here? Can you come over and we'll show people how to do both of these at the same time? So Tommy's going to come over to where I am here in the corner. We should have put the iPad up so people could watch it.
Oh.
So I'm going to hit the microphone, and then I'll
start talking, and then you'll hit the microphone.
start talking, and I'm also going to take the 30-second one at the same time.
Okay.
Go.
All right. So this is Tommy. I'm from Arkansas, and I have been in my latter sort of decade of my life. I'm now in my later 60. I'll back off the mic. In my latter decade of life, I'm about 57 now. I have been dealing with weight issues, but I've been mostly sedentary, just sitting at computers, writing programs, or sitting around playing music. Sometimes I stand to play music, depends on that. But I'm also a musician. I live in Arkansas, and I've played very regularly. And so lately, I've just not been able to spend the time on exercising, and I'm starting to feel some repercussions from not doing that health-wise. So I will be able to keep on talking. No, I'm done.
That was so polite. Repercussions when you're sitting around. Tommy, about weight. Okay, I'm going to go to the... Oh, okay. I'm going to go to the beginning here because he was too loud. And so some of this is truncated at the top, and I'm just going to roll over that with my left mouse and just chop it out of there. And then I'm going to export that, not save it, export it. Tommy, about weight. There it is. Okay. Turn off your computer and your mic and all that.
How's that?
That is great. So hold on a second, because we have Tommy's here.
Sure.
And look at this. Tommy doesn't have any of those neurotransmitters. And look at that A sharp.
Oh.
That's where we have to work, Tommy. It's the metabolism looks like a cholesterol, and it's the same frequency within 3/100 for that bacteria that causes weight gain. But we need to get these frequencies back up and running for dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin, because they're zeros. But he was talking about his weight too. Okay, we're going to save those and open new ones for you, Rose. Tommy is one of the trainers here, so he can look at his cholesterol at any moment. But we've got a new program we're just developing, and as you heard, he's the writer of some of the programs. He puts them into computer form. Let's open Audacity again, and we're going to put a mic up to you. We want to do a new one. Oh, why did that do that until this one? You just opened a new one. So you're going to seek for 30 seconds at least, and you can watch the numbers here, but also watch the 500 up here. Okay, we're going to put in Rose and about weight. So we'll start with that one first. I'm going to hit the mic. Now you start talking, and I'll hit OK.
Well, I am talking, and I guess you're probably about ready to record me. Here we go. Yeah, weight's been a problem for most of my life. Seems like I'm pretty much identified with the wheat is like if I cut that out, I can at least lose some weight. But I'm about 5'6", and I weigh about 218 pounds. And yeah, that's what I'm pretty excited about this program. So I'm curious to see what kind of things you find in the weight profile that might give you a clue about something.
Okay, we have it. in your case, you had a lot of kind of dead spots. So I'm going to chop those out. I let it run a little long so we can chop these out. We need at least 20 seconds or so. Now this doesn't even look like a voice to me. Let's listen to that.
There was a call that came in on call waiting.
Yeah, there it is. So let's get that out. You can say, you were on a radio show. You couldn't answer the phone. Okay. Tommy is saying you're going to have a 60-cycle hum on your voice. We'll look at that. 29 seconds. And we're going to export you as Rose and about weight. And we're putting it in our waves file. All those instructions are in that booklet waiting for you. Now we go up here and we look and we see that serotonin's pretty good, but norepinephrine and dopamine is lacking. And dopamine gives you the satiation. You see them eating popcorn on TV and you want some. And it's just like the body is never satisfied. A lot of the times that in the mornings you won't be hungry, but then once you start eating, you want more and more to eat because of that lack of satiation. We would put you on frequencies for dopamine to kick this in. See, what's a precursor for dopamine? Tryptophan, turkey. There's probably, look online, there's probably other foods that have dopamine. Now, we have a little trick for norepinephrine. In most cold medications, the Tylenol green one, if you read it on there, it says it has pseudo-norepinephrine in it. And if you take one of those cold pills and you get energy, then norepinephrine is the issue, and you also probably are lacking B12. So we would want to look at some of your neurotransmitters. You don't have that problem that Tommy had with this high A sharp, but you do have C missing, and there are some enzymes to digest carbohydrates that are in the node of C and in the node of D. So I would look for a natural-based carbohydrate digester. If you have anybody around you that sells Nature's Sunshine, they have some great products for digesting carbohydrates. So that's, and I'll send this to you if you'll give me your email address, maybe in the morning, because I'm very hungry. We've been teaching all day, Tommy and I, from 8 this morning. So I'm probably going to eat before I bundle all those and send them to you. But we have this one, Audacity, and we're going to take this BioBody program and we're going to put you in. Well, first I have to read your stuff. That was strange, so I would do that. We have a computer program called Abacus, and this is also waiting for you on our site. So again, you can go right to the site and download, in this case, radiation, but there's the Abacus. You can download this program. You have to register it, but it is free. So this is what it looks like. So we're going to put your file in there. Desktop, Waves, Rose, and it's taking your local frequencies and changing them into lowest to highest. Wait, there's got to be a slice in there, Tommy. Very nice slice. So we want to look at lows and highs. Is this going to read because there's only one low? BioDiet? We'll see if it'll read, but usually you have to have 6 lows and 6 highs. Rose about weight, and tell me if I'm doing a typo, Tommy, because I can't see what I'm typing. Online, and we don't need her birthday. We're just going to fake it with 12/12/12, and that tells us that we don't know what the birthday is, female, and weight issues. Now we have this list of 24 numbers, and the computer has picked them out. This big gaping hole right here, that's really important because that means that's very active, and it's very active in its loss of information. So there's a slice here and a slice here we can't do with this kind of program, that you can call in and have us do an evaluation of you. So we now have all of these numbers. They're all high except one. Now, the computer may not read it, and if that's the case, we're going to fake it if it happens. So I'm going to hit this little Rubik's Cube here and say we want to, that says waves. We don't want to put it in there. Does that say desktop? And I'll put it in my GNS files. All the instructions for creating all of these files are in here. Now it's easy from here on in. Go to that file that we just created, and it's going to dump in all of these pieces of information. Let's look at amino acids. You need carnitine and tryptophan to lose weight. So let's just see what an amino acid report looks like. And it made it. And this is very telling here. Serine and taurine are high. Serine, it mostly comes from wheat for people. When you make bile salts, which break down fats, there's 4 items that work. Cysteine, and that's also a precursor for B12. Serine, coenzyme A, and taurine. Those bile salts usually go to the gallbladder, and they break down fats, metabolize it. One of the things that Monsanto has done with the GMO of grains is take out the taurine. This can cause cardiomyopathy. We could also test you on wheat allergies and see what's going on. But you need these 2 amino acids to create bile salts to break down and emulsify lipids. See if you can find a good, whoops, we lost Rose there. See if you can find, I hope she's listening, a good amino acid. Tyson, like Tyson chicken, makes good amino acids. Nutrice, you can call the office tomorrow and get some of these references. But any place that does natural food-based, I love Nature Sunshine because it does herb and food-based enzymes. But this is just the amino acids, and this tells me with bells ringing that you have trouble breaking down and metabolizing fats. We can look at other things here. Let's look at vitamins, minerals, enzymes. Okay, for her nutrients, we're looking at inositol. Now, inositol is low and high at the same time. This is a clue that this may be a muscle. It could be inositol too, which works well with choline. But look, metabolizes fat, removes fat from the liver. Fatty liver. Tommy, do we have a fatty liver program yet, or one we're just working on? Just working on it. wait a couple of weeks, Rose, and we'll run you through that new one. But in the meantime, you can go to your health food store and buy choline, C-H-O-L-I-N-E, choline and inositol. It will also help make your neurotransmitters, the ones that help you think, the one that help make the sheathing around your nerves. So this is a very important one. The next one that comes up is minerals. There is a, what's the name of the book? The Naked Calories. It's by the Calton, C-A-L-T-O-N-S. Just look for it, the Naked Calories. And it'll give you a whole list of medications that mess up your minerals. Your iron is high, your magnesium is high. It's almost an impossible situation unless you're taking lots of minerals. Are you at all? N-U-T-R-I-E-N. There is something called a nutrient assimilation chart, if I could spell it right, N-U-T-R-I-E-N-T. Now, when we look at zinc, that would be a mineral, so we're going to go down to the bottom. And this chart is also waiting for you. You can download this one. I don't know if it's on the radio. Yeah, here it is. Just double click this and you can download this chart also. And we want to look at minerals and we want to look at zinc. Zinc is too high. You need adequate levels of zinc or adequate levels of copper, calcium, phosphorus, selenium, vitamin A, B6, E to maintain vitamin E, increase absorption of vitamin A. And by the way, that serine and taurine, if there's any left over or it's not used, it turns into beta carotene, which then turns into vitamin A. Take it a different time from your iron supplement. So your zinc, if you're not taking it, is probably doesn't have its sister's components to make it work. I just lost the chart. There it is. But we want to find the sister components to make all this work. It may be like with magnesium, you don't have the MMDR gene to make it work. Or with zinc, you don't have the manganese to make it work. And Rose says, I have a raw meal shake daily. Well, you just disappeared off the telephone. That's why we were concerned. It has minerals in it. Well, you're not utilizing these minerals or you're having too much of them. Look and see what the requirements are or what percentage of zinc, magnesium, and iron is in there because you're having trouble utilizing it. Download that green sheet. Look at these sister components to see what you need. Let's look at it again. For magnesium, that's magnesium, iron, and zinc. So magnesium, you need calcium. You needed calcium down here too. Iron, your iron was too high and not useful. Phosphorus, need phosphorus. They have some commonalities here. Iron, manganese, copper, molybdenum, essential for many enzymes, catalyzing enzymes. It's in there, you're just not using it. And even though you're eating raw, which is great stuff, what you're eating raw is either overloading you or you have something else missing here. And one of the things that we can do, I'll increase the variance of this. The variance is on 3, but I'll increase it and see if we can look at more minerals that might be missing. Your enzymes that you have in stress are all fiber enzymes, which breaks down kind of roughage. I suspected that you had some sort of amylase missing, but it doesn't look like you do. If we can't find this, and because we were on a phone and because you had a hum on the line, I'm going to open this variance and make it wider, and then go back and look at those same things and see if it increases anything. It did not increase the inositol, did not increase the minerals. It did open up a little bit more of the enzymes. It gives you tetrahydrobiopterin here. That is part of the energy system of the body. Pectinase, maltase, lactase. Again, fiber thing, digest milk sugar, which I wouldn't think you eat, digest protein found in fruit. But this tetrahydrobiopterin is very important for methylation mapping. And if you're having trouble, I think that would be the very first thing that I would do, is go look at a methylation map. Boy, it's really skinny there. The tetrahydrobiopterin, BH4 is here, and these are all precursors to the serotonin, the dopamine, and the norepinephrine. So I would think maybe this BH4 is where your kink is. But if we run you through this computer program, we ought to be able to see what's going on, and we can easily do that. Just take that same information. Once you get these charts going, you can just fly through them and look at them. Now we're at 6. I'm going to put my variance back maybe at 4. Or we might be overloaded with information. Wow. Tetrahydrobiopterin, it's akin to erythropoietin, and it's all some kidney stuff. And kidney is the note of F. So the process of your kidney is causing some issue here. You have a score of 5. I'm going to move this over so we can see the reports. Here's the first report, and it says ACAT, that's not on here. COMT is on here, and MAOA is on here. Oh, it's got frequencies on it. Can't do those. So we're looking, what we would do with this is go up here, and here's COMT, and here's COMT, and here's MAOA, and here's the tetrahydrobiopterin. Now, 1, detox. 2, create energy. 3, replete your DNA. 4 and 5, use your incoming resources. And we can already see that this is the problem right here, because you have the BH4, the dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine. All of those were issues in your chart. So what we would work with nutrition or frequency is getting this energy cycle back up and running. We'd look at your map, and I opened the wrong mapping here because it's got frequencies in it. But I'm going to go ahead and look through here and make these other circles for you by what I'm reading. Cysteine is in stress. Homocysteine is in stress. That shows me that B12 is some issue. Taurine is in stress. That's used for changing bad sulfurs into good sulfurs. Now this is adenine, cystoconic acid, and oxalosucinic acid in stress, and that's your Krebs cycle. That's before what we look at here. I'll show you that in a minute. Here's good stuff to know. Well, if I can get my mouse to work. ACHY is a stressor, and that's about sulfur being put out by the body as adenosylhomocysteine hydrolase. So it says that your enzyme activity that deals with sulfur-based enzymes, and there are a lot of them, are in stress. So we need to look at sulfur. A lot of information here, but there are booklets that show you how to use this information. MAOA again as a gene. You might look at that. Nitric oxide synthase, that's for cell respiration. MTHFR, this is for the use of methionine from a genetic perspective. And SAHH, more information about sulfur. So there's definitely some sulfur issues here, which would be another mineral. There's zinc, but that's not on here. Glucose 6-phosphate, that deals with the ability of the body to use insulin. And then you have this VDR. Is that the VDR? I can't see it on me. It's what? Right here? So someplace right in here there is a vitamin D receptor, and that's in stress. So mostly it's not that you don't have the issue, you don't have the minerals or information in there, you don't have a way to break them down because you don't have your coenzymes. And I said I would show you a more detailed map. Oh, that one's too detailed. Tommy puts all these wonderful maps in here for us. This is the one I wanted because I said you had two pieces of the Krebs cycle and stress. And the Krebs cycle is the energy cycle of the body. And you had oxalosucinic acid. I can't remember the other one that you had, but this comes before the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that we just looked at. This is that same energy cycle that you had in stress. We need to get you on a good line or need to teach you how to send us a vocal print that will be a lot more accurate here. And I will keep this one until tomorrow so that we can really see what's going on. F sharp or F natural? I don't know the difference, Rose. Tommy, do you? She asked the questions. Was that F natural or F sharp? The tetrahydrobiopterin. It wasn't. We looked at it in terms of just her note correlate chart. Well, I'll show it to you on the chart. I wouldn't know the difference. The 5 is in the F sharp. So what's the difference in F natural and F sharp? This is an F and that's an F sharp. So it's the process of the kidneys where you have the tetrahydrobiopterin that's responsible for cell respiration. We would go back at the beginning and look at your nitric oxide synthase as we looked at that map. Wrong map. Well, I just killed that. So looking at this nitric oxide synthase and anything in the blue box, that's genetic. So the cells need to respirate for the kidneys to do their job and to create all of this information. You need to combine it with methionine and the enzymes dealing with sulfur, chlorine, and cysteine. That's a lot of information. Yes, it very much puts it into perspective. And this looks hard. It looks complicated. It's not. This is what we teach you in class. And we do advanced classes. One of the advanced classes might be, Tommy, that somebody go through this map and explain, you know, how this map is used. Advanced class. Let me write myself in it or I'll forget. Use map. He is working so hard, though. I don't think he can even take time off to do this. So you can get a lot of information from your voice. And there's new articles out we've put up on our site about DNA can be set to music, that they're finding that DNA actually has its own grammar, just like the words that we speak. So the information coming from your brain through your vocal cords out your mouth and to somebody else's ear really contains a lot of information. And that's what our center, the Institute of Bioacoustic Biology, is dedicated to finding out what those frequencies mean. And by providing you these downloads of Countervailing the Season, and we've done BioDiet, and we give away one a month, and the radiation software is there all the time. Plus, if you join the Guardian, you get an additional software, and it's going to be Detox this month. So you can start your own business and earn $30 to $50 per report. You could probably do 2 an hour. You have that many clients lined up. We help you with marketing, but our idea is to support a bioacoustic center in every community. And we teach you how to use this, give you the software, teach you how to use it, especially if you're on the West Coast, that radiation software. People are doing very well with that, going in and advertising, getting on their local radio stations and advertising that they can test people's local print, and they have charts. You look at this radiation software and you can download the charts. There it is. And even it's different colors if you'd like. So that we look at maybe you're poisoned with strontium-90. It's going to affect your ATP, another respiratory cellular breathing thing, and it's going to mess up your inositol. So if we ran Rose through this, it may be the strontium-90 that's really causing the problem. We just took down a radical factor software. We had that up for a month and giving it away to people to tell what kind of cellular damage there was. So we thank all of you for being here. It's been fun. We hope all of you come back. We hope all of you join the Guardians if you're not already a part of that. And we'll all make the world a better place. And Rose and Philip, I will send these to you tomorrow. Rose, did you send me your email address? Okay, thank you. For those of you who are practitioners, Tommy is going to be doing the professional class this week. He's going to be doing it on appropriate case studies and template building. And I think you're going to use Gout. We're going to build a Gout template, which you guys will be able to take with you. So we'll see you later.